A single step toward the light, a fleeting backward glance, and she is gone. This is the tragic climax of antiquity's most familiar story. Before this loss, Orpheus possessed an unrivaled influence over the material world. Born of divine origins and tutored by Apollo, his music could charm beasts and bend the physical world to the order of his lyre. That harmony is shattered when his bride, Eurydice, suffers a sudden death. Consumed by grief, Orpheus does what no mortal should dare. He descends into the shadows of Hades to retrieve her from the grave. His music enchants the underworld, earning him a single concession from its rulers. He may lead Eurydice back to the world of the living on one condition. He must walk ahead, and he must not look back until they reach the surface. He fails. For thousands of years, society has accepted this as a poignant fable about human frailty, the blinding nature of grief, and the finality of death. But the literal story may well be a strategic layer of protection for a much deeper truth. Within the closed doors of mystery schools, among Renaissance alchemists, and across Masonic traditions, the myth has been preserved as a sequence of transformative operations. Through the esoteric lens, this narrative functions as a map for the great work of Hermetic alchemy. By following the thread of these chemical metaphors, we see the soul's true journey. In alchemy, sulfur is the active intelligence that initiates change. Orpheus embodies this principle. His lyre is the mechanism of cosmic harmony. Mercury represents the soul's volatile essence. Eurydice mirrors this hidden light within physical density, which the alchemist extracts. Her death and the subsequent descent into the underworld map onto the nigredo. This is the essential first stage of alchemy, the blackening, the putrefaction, and the necessary death of the old self. The 17th century diagram shows an Athenor, the alchemist's sealed furnace. In this tradition, Hades functions as this interior laboratory, the enclosed flask where intense, hidden pressure transforms base materials. Every initiate must voluntarily descend into their own internal darkness. Transformation occurs only under the isolating pressure of this sealed vessel. When Orpheus attempts to lead Eurydice out of the dark, he is attempting the hieros gamos, the alchemical marriage. This is the moment the practitioner attempts to permanently unite the active sulfur of the mind with the volatile mercury of the soul. The backward glance represents the exact moment the experiment fails. Interrupting the sequence shatters the delicate chemical reaction. Esoterically, the glance represents the conscious ego stepping in to reclaim control of a process it cannot yet fully comprehend. Classical alchemy requires absolute patience. The practitioner must trust the invisible, unconscious stages of transformation happening in the dark. Orpheus's failure serves as a foundational warning for the initiate. Trying to verify or force the great work before the timing is right destroys the integrity of the process. The myth does not end at the gates of the underworld. Following his failure, Orpheus wanders the earth, refusing all earthly love. This reflects the alchemical stage of spiritual sublimation, a purification of intent and detachment from material desires. He meets a violent end at the hands of the Maenads. In the Hermetic tradition, these figures are the chaotic forces of dissolution, breaking down the temporary physical vessel entirely. His body is torn apart and thrown into the river Hebrus. Yet his severed head continues to sing as it floats toward the sea. The physical form is destroyed, but the harmonic vibration remains. This represents the incorruptible spirit, the eternal wisdom that outlives its biological constraints. Modern analysts, particularly in the tradition of Carl Jung, often interpret this journey as a psychological metaphor for integrating the unconscious mind. But to the classical Hermetic philosopher, this myth was a literal map for recovering a lost divine nature. The story of Orpheus endures because it mirrors our longest-standing search, the need to face our darkest selves, refine our dense matter, and trust the slow process of inner transformation.